What's good? What's good? What's good, family? What's
What's
good?
good, everybody?
What's
Peace,
good,
peace,
soapbox?
peace.
What's good, panel? How you doing, gifted soul?
How you doing, love? I'm good. How about yourself?
All is well. Thank you for asking. You looking spliffy. Thank you for pulling up. How you doing, Miss Just Star?
Gang, gang. Yo. Always
Gang,
love.
gang. Dark Lake.
I'm good. I'm good. Just ready to get into it. Let's
Oh,
do
I
this.
bet. Oh, I bet.
Knock it
I
out the
saw you
park. You
turn
feel me?
on instantaneously.
Yeah.
So that's what's up. That's what's up. So I just want to kind of get into some things. I know they're going to all branch off into their own lanes because you guys are a intellectual bunch of people, right? Shout out to the intellectual soapbox. Shout out to Mr. Best. Shout out to this whole creative space and everybody watching and everybody who will watch after. So it's been in the media a lot of different things going on in the media. A lot of things going on in our music, hip hop community. A lot of legacy being torn down, torn into. A lot of politics. A lot of people being revealed for getting into different things. I think what has stuck out to me over the last couple of days have been more of the focus on what people are willing to sacrifice to be a part of this creative space. Me being an artist, a spoken word poet, a writer, a host, getting into spaces and places where I've had opportunities to interview people that we would consider legends of hip hop or things of that nature. And as those things grow and continue, I wonder to what sacrifice of self I'm willing to go. I can't say that I'm without compromise to some degree, unbeknownst to me or maybe beknownst to me. But I feel like there's a lot of compromise going on out here. And so I just want to pull up a couple of things, get into it, get some perspective, see where we are as a unit in perspective. Just Star, she's all the way from the UK. So I can't wait to hear her perspective because it's also a reflection of her culture. She has a background Guyanese and she mixed with a couple things, got a little accent. But I would love to hear what the perspective is from even other people who are viewing us as a community, as a platform, as a music culture, African American, whatever the case may be, male, women, female. So I'm going to get a clip pulled up and we'll start from there. Fair use, fair use, fair use. It's coming, y'all, I promise.
We're not even done unpacking because before we get into the game, Mace, I gotta ask you. We started a little discussion yesterday. All the Shannon Sharp stuff. For those who are watching this new episode, basically he was being accused of sexual assault. On the side, he tried to offer the victim $10 million. She declined it. Now they're trying to take it. She declined it. Oh, he offered, yes, 10 million. They declined it. They want $50 million out of the case. Audio files have been released. Text messages have been released. He released
What
the
is
video.
saying the audio? Because I want to make sure what I heard
something
was what
about choking her, and she was like, "I don't want to be choked," and he was like, "Yes, you do." But he's claiming it was an edited audio file. It's a lot of different parts, and I know for the audience, I'm summing it up. If you want to know more details, it is online. But Mace,
it's new, and also Mace's new audio came out yesterday. He said, "You want a big back up with a big black baby."
Oh, man.
He said, "A little white girl put a big black baby in you," or something to that effect.
Wow.
You can pause here for a second. So just to scrape this up a little bit, apparently he had been out or had been having some relations or conversations with a young lady that he dated allegedly from OnlyFans. She was 19 at the time. It's been about 2 years. Apparently she has come out and started talking about him being inappropriate with her. He's basically saying, no, This was consensual, blah, blah, blah. That's the backstory, not so much the focus, but it is leading. Backstory being, okay, Shannon Sharp has been popping up lately a lot. Both in a way where he was in a light of being a part of the homosexual community. And I feel like ever since then, it's just kind of been unfolding, where he's trying to overly disprove whatever these perceptions are of him. And I feel like it's so much so that now there are things that are being created, things that are being thrown out of thin air, accusations, people that are coming all together, and all at the cost of what? I heard somebody bring up the fact that he's trying to reach the level of fame that he gained when he had Cat Williams on as a guest. And although we're starting here, we'll move past here because it goes into a lot of other lanes. But where I want to start is at what cost, at what ceiling, at what sacrifice is this really worth it? At what point are we really selling ourselves out? Are we coming outside of ourselves, creating personas, whatever the case may be, to be entertainment for you? And when I say you, again, I say it from the place of being an entertainer to some degree. At what ceiling are we willing? Shout out to Miss Chocolate. At what point are we willing to sacrifice ourselves to be out here? And I guess I'll start there. And with you, Darkly, I'll let you go first.
Okay, thank you so much, Malysa. And thank you for letting me be here, Mr. Best in the World, Malysa. Hope everyone on the panel is blessed moving forward with everything. I just want to put some positivity out there. And I need to push that positivity out there as a caveat because, Malysa, you ain't going to like some of the shit I got to say. All right. So you were right that, to question the price of fame, right? Especially for Black people, super especially for Black men, right? At what cost do we want to pay for basically the degradation and to be sacrificial for the entertainment of the masses, right? And I think that is a valid question for everyone to ask themselves when they're trying to get into certain fields. However, I have an opinion that it doesn't matter what field Black people, especially Black men, enter, right? There's always going to be these programs like the Matrix programs, these agents like Agent Smith in the Matrix that are designed to project a particular narrative about someone in order to handicap their potential, in order to handicap their influence, in order to handicap their influence on the masses of people. Because you got to understand, it's more deep than him just going viral off of that Cat Williams video. Whenever you do have a presence and it reaches millions upon millions of people, right, you then become a target for people who have concerted efforts to shut you down so that you can't reach those people, so that you won't influence them, right? And going on a rant, I'll just end it like this. I don't think that excuses his Shannon Sharp's unwise decisions, right? He made some really unwise decisions. But there are many hypocritical notions in this example that I am realizing the Black community is making. And I can say it right now in this little intro speech I have, but I think what I would like to do is let everyone else share their intro take on the situation. And then when we get into the conversation more, I can express to you what I think those hypocritical notions are. So. Oh, you're muted. Malysa, you're muted.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. And we'll hold, and I can't wait to listen to you unpack that. I feel like where you think we may disagree, we might actually agree in a lot of places.
Okay.
Just Star. I'd like to go male, female, male, female. So just Star.
Funny enough, when you started to say that, bro, I was thinking, yo, Melissa's probably already ready for more than you realize she's ready for. Like, but yeah. Anyway, like, no, I feel
All
like,
right.
I don't even know, like, I like to put my 2 pences in the machine when I know what's happening yet. Like, but also, from just as a human being perspective, regardless of woman, race, whatever, one country, like, money doesn't fix everything. You know what I mean? Like, clearly 10 million pound wasn't enough to, or dollars, whatever, wasn't enough to, there's no amount of money that can pay for the violation of your body. Trust me. Like, and it's more just a recognition of the violation that is what these people are doing these things for. I mean, I can't speak for anybody, but like, me personally, I know, like, to stand up for something, it's not about like getting like the money, whatever. And it's like, that's why these people sometimes say no to money. Like, oh, why don't you take the money? Because money's not really going to fix what they're fucking done to me. Like, it's not just that event. It's like all of the things that it leads from. And then like, literally like, some men don't even realize, because that's the thing as well. That's why we need to have more of these conversations, because it's like, there's so many things that we let slide over the years, yeah, no pun intended, like, and literally like, as women and as men or whatever, like, we literally like accept so many things because, well, that's men in it, or that's women in it, or that's how it goes, in it, that's what we used to, in it, no, it shouldn't be like that. But because we accept it like that, that's why it's acceptable, because we've accepted it before. And so if we start having these conversations, letting men know, that was actually like not consent. Like, because sometimes it's like the lines are so blurred that no wonder no one knows what the fucking consent is anymore. So sometimes a man ain't even trying to like be disrespectful. He just don't even know. But yeah, anyway, I'll stop talking because otherwise I'll carry on forever.
No, I love it. I appreciate your 2 cents, and I appreciate that you're from the outside looking in, because it'll all come together, I'm sure, in some way, shape, or form. So I love pulling all these pieces.
As well, just my last little sentiment on that. Like, thank you for saying that too, because as well, like, I know business as well. What I say to you behind the camera and on the camera is the same thing. And like, as well, the whole like one of the main things in the spotlight is the whole Diddy thing. Like, I don't have normal TV because I refuse to be like brainwashed by all this shit anymore. Yeah, but like basically like it's not funny, and like this whole like anything to do with this like sort of the stuff is like so desensitized. Like, everyone sits behind the computer, and like even these conversations we have, people joke about it, and it's like, raw, I don't know about you, but it's not funny. Like, it's really not funny. Like, when you've been sexually abused, and like whether you believe what's going on or you don't, with like the connotations and the people that really are going through whatever they're going through, that like think of this, it's like, no, Diddy, oh, that's so funny. It's really not. Like, so I think people need to just stop being so desensitized and actually realize what they're saying and what it means to somebody. Because I've heard some of the worst things from some of the people closest to me and not realize what they're saying and stabbing me in the chest right next to me. So it's like, just words are powerful, man. So yeah, sorry, sis. Like,
No, I love that, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that's going to be a part of the conversation as well. Let's see, Gifted, you're up, sir.
First off, peace. I just want to say peace and love to everybody. Thank you for allowing me to be on this platform. Um, First off, I don't pay attention to a lot of celebrities because just for reasons like this. You feel what I'm saying? Because there's so many blurred lines. But even before, I think before we even discuss, what do you want to sacrifice, for success, I think people need to understand there's a difference between success and sabotage. He put himself in a fucked up position. You see what I'm saying? And now all this occurs. If like I was saying off, like when we were building off before we even started, like I said, he's old enough to be aware of what he was doing was wrong. So now you have to get penalized for that. And for some people like me who, I'm not cool with abusing women. I'm not big on that type of stuff. So it's like for somebody like me, it's like if that's what you did, then you getting what you deserve. You feel what I'm saying? I agree with Just Star. Like, I've never had anything done to me, but I know some women that have been through some real things. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't think you can put a price on innocence. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you can't put no price on innocence because money's not going to give back certain things. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's just not gonna happen. So, and even when it comes to success, you got to carry yourself a certain way. You attract how you move, you attract what you move. So it's like when you move in a certain way, certain things happen. So it's like, like I said, I'm not 100% big on the celebrity situation, but as far as judgment, experience, yeah, I can kind of sort of throw that in there to make it make sense to me. Because if he did that, that's crazy. He knew better than that. You feel what I'm saying? And even on the flip side of it, of course, she's not going to take 10 million because she knows she can get more out of it if she drag it along. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like in
No,
that
but it's
world,
like
in that
that's
world,
like
it's just in that celebrity world, it could go both ways in the celebrity world because we don't really know. That's why I don't really try to politic about celebrities because we really don't know what really happened behind the scenes, you know? So it's like,
I can respect that. And rightfully, I'm glad that you said it in that manner because it comes from a place, or at least in my opinion, there's an origin to this, and we'll get in that as we're coming down the yellow brick road. But there's definitely an origin to this that came way before there was money in our pockets. And
right.
so please don't feel lost in the sauce and thinking that celebrity is kind of where we're boxing it. We're definitely going to.
Nah, because I not to cut you off, but even this situation, like it goes deeper than that because this don't do nothing but further divide men and women. You feel
Mhm.
what I'm saying? When we're supposed to be, moving in unison as one, like we're supposed to be the protectors of women. You feel what I'm saying?
Hold on.
Situations like this don't do nothing but make women not trust men more. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Okay, when you
that's
say
that's the problem.
crazy.
hold on,
That's the
when you
problem.
say
Because
situations like this, you mean situations like the panel of conversation or situations
Mm-mm.
like
The
the topic?
situation of like Shannon Sharp.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the Shannon
Okay.
Sharp situation. Yeah, like situations like that,
Mhm.
it makes women feel more uncomfortable than they already are.
Okay.
Because the whole because men don't create that space of safety for women. You feel what I'm saying? Which is why a lot of women feel like they need to be tougher than they need to be because they feel like they have to protect themselves. You
That
feel what I'm
whole
saying?
save the bear thing.
Yeah, like I don't know. This one situation can go so far to me. So it's like, yeah, I don't know.
No, that's
I'm
perfect.
just talking.
You're still in
can I
perfect
can I can
alignment.
I
Not a
interject?
problem.
Like, sorry, I've just been doing my show as well for hours as well. Yeah, so apologies, guys. I'm Back to the Future. It's like 2:15 in the morning here as well. Yeah, so like forgive me. I do approach you, but I ain't got the words sometimes. But also like. I definitely appreciate a lot of what you said, yeah. Like, well, I appreciate everything you said. It's your opinion, blah blah blah, yeah. Like, but when I say blah blah, that's not a rude thing. Like, but literally, didn't you said like that background noise is really annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Like that background music is actually distracting. But like, you said
Oh,
then
that's
all of
the
a sudden, like, oh,
humidifier. I'm sorry. I could turn it off.
and that's all good, bro. Yeah, like I just keep it real, yeah. Like, but basically, like, because it takes my brain does 500 things at once anyway, and I'm just trying to stay on track here. But like, basically, everything that you were saying, like, I was like proper with you, like, completely until you said, yeah, it's that background music that's really annoying. Like, until you said, that of course she didn't take 10 million because she knows she can get more. She didn't get raped, or I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't even know. Like I said, I really don't know the whole scenario. Blah blah blah. Yeah, like. Whoever's doing the background noise, I beg you turn it down. It's really annoying. Like,
Oh yeah, best in the world. Can you turn down the background music just a tad bit?
it's distracting,
Yeah,
innit?
thanks.
So it's not just music. Thank you. Yeah. Like, sorry, like I'm not trying to be a dick. Like, but yeah. So then, like, you was talking about, like, so obviously she didn't take 10 million, and it's that sentence. Like, again, I don't think you realize what you said when you said that sentence because it's like. Obviously, she didn't take 10 million because she knows she can get more. She didn't. Whatever happened in the situation, like I said, I don't know. Yeah, like, but regardless, obviously, there's something that happened that was not wagwan, like because they're not gonna offer 10 million for nothing. Yeah, like so then, like she didn't go through what happened like willingly, knowingly to be able to then get a money thing out of it. And we're all saying at the same time, oh, there's no price on your violation of your body. But then at the same time, well, she could have got more. She knows she could have got more. That's what she didn't take it. No, she didn't take it because it's not going to fucking make a difference. So she's standing up for what's right. And it's like, we're always telling people to stand up and tell people what I want. But then when they do, you point the finger at them and say, not saying that you said that. Then something else that you said, oh, shit, what else was it that you said? Bumper clock. Sorry, like because there was something else that you said as well, and I was trying to lead on from that as well. Like that music's just distracting the fuck out of my brain. Like, what else was it that you said? Sorry.
You can let us
All
in
right.
on the point because we haven't heard from Miss Chocolate yet. So
Yeah,
let her go.
sorry. Yeah, sorry.
No. Let her make her point, and
And I'm
then I'll
using
go
my
back
little
and
laptop and I
check
can't
and
see
see if your
properly.
bubble came back up. No worries. We
And
all
by the
been.
way, I'm listening to every single thing you say, Joestar. I think it's like I'm listening to every single thing. Like you think you're moving fast, but I love it the way you express yourself. I just want to say that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Miss Chocolate, you have the floor.
Well, hello, young people. How y'all doing?
Hey,
Peace,
girl.
love, and peace.
I was sitting here thinking what I was going to say as I was listening to everyone. And I've come to the conclusion that all this is about is sex. And because we're weird about having the conversation about sex, a man with wealth pays for a woman. Period. This just basic. This has been going on for centuries. We know that. Nothing new. Now he wants to be the victim, and you got people rah-rah for him. I could care less. And the reason I say that is because this man comes from an era where white women are the prize. That's it. That's the height of the height. When that mindset of man is trying to climb. And I say this for all minorities. This happens in every culture here in America, where men of their culture feel like, oh, status. That's been going on forever, especially here. And I think it's time for men to take accountability for this. I don't care because the girl's on OnlyFans. I could give a shit if she worked at the ice cream shop. Regardless of that, because we don't talk about SA on a real level with men who want to really find out why we don't trust y'all, why even in the back of our minds we always on the edge because we don't know, because unfortunately a lot of you do crazy shit. And
Not
so then we're supposed to trust you
that,
and go, let me look past his crazy and love him anyway. But then,
but
oh, that's a Pookie. Oh, that's the Ray Ray. How about you just crazy? Whatever
but
package you
that,
in.
but
Just
what about the
what,
people like? But what about the brothers who really are protectors that really like
they need
for
to
some?
stand up. They need to get
But
louder.
that's the thing. But that's the thing. See,
No.
no, let me express what I'm saying.
Well,
Like that's
I
the
wasn't finished, sir, but
I
I
know,
would love to
but
dialogue with
it's
you.
damn
Go
yeah,
ahead.
because it's so deep because it's like
Yes, it
then
is.
then you got somebody like me who advocate for that, but then we get looked at as weak or
Who is doing this? Who is
no
looking
no
at you like
Pause.
this?
I,
Pause.
it's a
Other men? Other
Pause.
no
men, right?
women
Pause.
women.
Bookmark that really quick, gifted soul, because I know that you're going to come from a place that's way more tender than the people who are being targeted under the focus topic. And I don't want you to get swept under that or catch a
Yeah,
stray.
I'm
So
not.
let her just
Please. I
hold on. So
don't.
just let her land
Yeah.
her point, and then we'll incorporate you so that you don't you not somewhere that ain't your neighborhood. Please. Go ahead, Miss Chocolate.
Well, I'll further, and this will probably calm the room. I don't mean this in any kind of negative way. Men need to take accountability about talking about sex to other men. Y'all need to learn boundaries. You need to learn to decide what you really want to do and don't use that as a power. This is a power play. I could care less about Mr. Shannon and the young lady. They were together for 2 years, by the way. This wasn't just a regular encounter. This man sent her $50,000 per cheek. Is
Does
he
that make
weak?
it okay for what he done to her if he done something to her?
No, that's not what. Well, let me land, y'all. What I'm trying to, the road I'm trying to go down is this. If we can't have conversations about SA and where men fit into that, and acknowledge the fact that yes, we are afraid of you. Yes, we do have to protect ourselves. Single women, married women, they wouldn't have these laws if men and women could do everything we're supposed to do. We seem to have an issue with that. You can't understand SA if you don't have a clear understanding of what that looks like in the position of a man paying you for your time. Yet we'll say, oh, that's awful. That's prostitution. Yet men lead in our society with their money. That's what he did. He bought what he wanted. He bought another human being's time. Think about that. It's not just about the sex part. There's a lot of dynamics to this. Of course, the race thing, because you know they're gonna play it. This Godzilla and the girl at the top of the tower. None of these things have changed as far as sight. This is horrible. No one should do anything to anybody, but we know that doesn't happen. But what I get exhausted from is, if I'm going to talk to men about this, please understand, you're not that guy. That's great. However, for every one of you being that not guy, there's like 20 of you who are like that guy. And also too, I think it's time that men kind of sit back and listen when we tell y'all about our dating situations. Give you a prime example, and I'm landing here. So I'm going out on a date. The gentleman wanted to pick me up. I knew him, so I was like, okay, cool, bet. I didn't want him in my house too long. I was like, you got it. We'll leave. You can pick me up, we'll leave. This man comes in my house, pins me to the wall. And it's like, I can't wait. I can't think. I said, well, what? So now I got to talk my way out of dealing with this dude. Or you got to block a number. Or, men think we out here like, oh my God, I love it. I love all the praise. Women want attention. Y'all give it to us. Who else is looking at us? You can't blame someone because you looking at it. And we're weird about it. We're weird about intimacy and sexuality. This is why this is a big thing. They in the race play and all this stuff. And then it gets swept away because we start talking about money that ain't yours. Not the thick of it, which is, why do men feel they need to do this? Why do they feel they need to be aggressive with us? Because if you read more about what was going on between the two of them, they were in a relationship as well. Like, he might have been paying, but they was together for 2 years. And he was abusive the whole time. But he's Shannon Sharp. Who gonna believe her? Listen how y'all talking about her now. Look at what they did. They crucified her. It's her fault. She tricked him. That's insane. She's 19 years old. This dude is almost 60. You wanted that fantasy. Fine. Well, now here's your consequence. And like I said, again, it comes back down to men, Black men, and their inability to discuss sexual matters and address the things as to why they feel the way that they do, or tell us the truth as to why y'all gotta come crazy, or how do you see this? Because it has such a huge dynamic, and it is dividing.
You know how many brothers felt uncomfortable when I was like, I'll fly you out. Come on. Come through, stay. You ain't gotta do nothing. We can go shopping when you get here. Do you know what I had grown men saying to me? You making me feel like a bitch. I don't like that. It's insane.
I land there.
So I have a question, Chocolate.
Of course, please.
If you fly some dude out like the clip that was just played, right? And you say, oh my God, you're making me I feel like a bitch. I don't like that. And you're like, no, just come out and I'll fly you out anyway. I don't care how you feel about it, right? And you actually fly him out. And he participates in you flying him out after he told you it made him feel like a bitch. Is that you abusing him?
Oh, I didn't hear that part. No, I would never go with him then. If a man says something like that to me, I'm done. Because that means you're very.
But in the video that was just played, you're like, oh, don't worry about that. I'll fly you
Yes.
out. It's not
And then
something that
the
should make you feel
men,
that way.
no, but it was their reaction to it. It wasn't positive. That was the reaction was you making me feel like, yeah. And I'm
And,
like,
and after hearing that reaction, if you would you still decide to no, it's okay, you can fly out anyway. Would you do that?
no, no, I wouldn't fly him out. Not if he said that. If
Well,
he
that's
felt
not
like,
that wasn't the really
what's
perception
the
and feeling of that
question?
video. And I'm not
I
trying to
guess
shame you. I'm not trying to shame you. I think it was
you're
hilarious.
not.
Right?
What are you
The
talking
reason
about,
why,
sir?
and I don't think the thing is, I don't think you would be either. And that's kind of like my point about this whole entire situation. I kind of feel like I was telling Gifted and Malysa and Just Star earlier. I don't think Shannon Sharp was wise. However, like you were saying, that even though he was purchasing it, right, they were together for 2 years, right? So let's talk about the nuance. The nuance is they've been together for two years, whether it's purchasing, whether it's whatever. They were making deals, seeing each other for
Right,
2 years.
exactly. Yeah, they spent time together. Yeah.
So that implies that they had a form of understanding when it comes to communication. She sent him a text saying,
Maybe.
"I want you to." She sent him a text saying, "I want you to abuse me."
I've sent a text like that before.
Okay. And listen. And I'm gonna put myself under the flames too because I don't think
But
you were
it's
wrong
not
for sending that
flames,
text.
Dark
But wait a
Blade.
minute.
Listen how you talking about
But wait a
this.
minute. But wait a minute. One second. Right? If
Yeah.
I'm with someone for 2 years, even if it's a prostitution or whatever, I
It's
don't
not.
think
It's
that's everything, but
transactional.
I'm just
You
saying
can say
transactional, right?
transactional. Yeah.
Okay, transactional, right? Even if it's that. The thing is there is a reputedly understood idea. This is what fetish this person is into. This is me responding to that person's
No, not
fetish.
at all.
Wait, 1 second. It's been 2 years, so it's reputedly understood amongst both of you, right? So
Right.
we can have a debate on whether or not what they were partaking in pertaining to the fetish was wrong or right. But to then cast him as a predator because he's partaking in that
But
fetish
who?
is absolute BS to me. And I'm not
Why
here.
is he 60 years old with a 19-year-old girl? Like, what are you talking about?
1 second. And I am
That's
not.
a power dynamic.
I am not. And listen. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that abuse is justified. If someone is abusing someone, they should be put under the jail, man or woman. What I'm saying is that I think he's an easy target because he's a black man. And there's a lot of hypocritical notions I was going to get into with Malysa earlier, where I was going to illustrate that further. But we can't pretend like there aren't such things as fetishes. And we can't pretend like men and women communicate Instagram DM, text messages, phone calls pertaining to these fetishes to make a plan to meet in person and fulfill those desires. We can't pretend like that's not the case just because he's a black man. That's my point.
But I don't think anybody was discarding that. And to answer your question, Just Star, if you didn't hear me in the beginning, why I brought that up is because as a survivor myself, and my mother was a survivor of,
No,
SA.
I might be not talking to you, Sister Queen. What question are you talking about? Because sometimes the comments might be a different.
No, it's okay. The comment about does it, hurt or not, does it matter? Like, does that take away from what happened to her? And
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was-
She's
no.
talking about in the
everybody-
dynamic of the fact that they had a relationship prior and may have been abusive prior, or he was exchanging money with her prior. Does that excuse the fact that now she has a problem with it? It wasn't about
No.
you.
No, yeah. So
On the
yeah, thank you.
sideline.
Because that's what I was
Yeah.
trying to understand. Yeah, because literally
She was talking about him,
Yeah.
about Dark Blake's comment.
But yeah, that was my thing was like, does it change, like, because that was literally like I was trying to because I was trying to like keep up with this conversation because like I said, I'm tired, man, and I'm writing notes and I don't, I'm writing notes, guys, yeah. But like as well, because something that you were saying, Chocolate, though, yeah, because I agree with a lot of what you're saying, obviously, as well, yeah. Now, like, doesn't matter if I agree or not, like, it's a great conversation, isn't it? Yeah, it is what it is. Like, but sex and rape are two different things, and like you keep saying about like men viewing sex differently. Like, and it's the one of the people that this is why it sticks in my brain, because when I was raped as an adult walking somewhere, like the police officer said to me, like when I was like trying to describe, because they make you ask all these mad questions, and he was like saying, well, I was like saying, yeah, you tried to have sex with me, like he's like, no, well, rape is not sex, so as well, like, and I don't even know what but if it's like if it's bordering on these conversations that we're having, clearly it's not sex. Sex is, and fetish is a fetish. Like, so it's like, does it mean like that by her having a fetish, by her saying all these things, like that means that she knew that she was going to be put in a situation that she's in now, or whatever's going on, or whatever that we perceive that's going on, because like, I don't know what I want, but like literally like nothing that's happened prior makes it acceptable for what's happened, that or what we think has happened, or what we're talking about that's happened, because it's like doesn't justify one to the other. I don't understand why people are saying like no amount of money and no fucking like, oh well, she knew for 2 years she was getting money from him. Oh my god, so what? He was giving her money. Like wow, so now that makes it okay to abuse her? No,
no, it doesn't. That wasn't the point I was making. But I get what you're saying, just started. My thing is this: what you're saying is right. What I have an issue with is I would have to be put in that category as well, because I get a text message, and this has happened before. I get a text message, oh, spank me hard. I want you to spank me hard. I go over there and I actually spank her hard. So according to everybody, I should be put in the same category, because it's so easy to say, oh, because he spanked her hard.
You're being pedantic though. That's not the same thing at all. You know,
because he spanked her hard, he's a predator now. If I'm famous like Shannon Sharp, you see what I'm saying?
No, well, like, because I don't know the ins and outs, but I get your point there. But also, it's not the same thing. Sex is not rape. Fetish is not fucking acceptance. Like, you know, no is not a sentence. Like, it's end of the day. It doesn't matter. Like, because you know as well, like, you know, it's like as women as well. Something else with Chocolate was saying, and like, you know, generally, like, you know, look, we've had these other conversations on like some other shows that I do, a little plug, Lyrics, Laughter, Advice with Justa. Like, and like literally, like, we talk about these things because you know. I'm 1 year and 5 days difference between me and my brother, yeah, and we learned literally everything at the same time. I learned everything a year early because of doing it with him, yeah, and like you know, he never got told to walk the same as me, and like you know, when I was like you know abused as a kid, no one asked me what I was wearing, but like what was no one protecting me then? But then when I'm an adult and I'm walking somewhere, oh, so and people that straight away do that thing. It's like the assumption, oh, so you met him on a night out and you was trying to fuck him, but like no, I was fucking walking somewhere. Well, what was you wearing? Why was you outside? Because it was dark and it was late. Did you not think what could happen to you? I don't know. I might get to my destination. Like, what the fuck? Do you as a man ever get told that fucking to walk safely down the road? Like, you know what I mean? Because my legs work. I can walk. I promise you, I can cross the road. I can tie my shoelaces and everything. But then all of a sudden, we get constantly told how to walk. And it's like, and as well, the thing I wanted to say before, which then came up in the conversation, which was like probably maybe a good thing, is that we're not talking about men. Because this is a thing that I like to make sure people are clear about, yeah. Like when I'm talking about these things I'm talking about the scum of the earth, yeah. I know men, real kings, real ones, and yo, I salute, I respect, and I show love for them, yeah. Scum, rapists are rapists, yeah. So people as well, be careful. Don't keep putting the word men in the sentence when you're talking about these people, because we're not talking about men. Because men don't do that. Sorry. Put my pen.
I appreciate you for clarifying that, because I say that a lot, and yeah. I try to reiterate it when I remember. So thank you for saying that, because yeah, we aren't talking about men. We're talking about males, and like you said, scum. So a whole different category, and a whole nother bubble. Gifted, go ahead.
So this is coming from the aspect of this is coming from an aspect of somebody who don't really pay attention to, because first off, I don't really do the whole celebrity thing like that, because like I don't even know why Shannon Sharp is a celebrity. You feel what I'm saying? But for
I'm glad someone else understands. I don't even know who these people are.
Yeah, so it's like for, let me use somebody, a rapper I listen to, Gunna, for example. When Gunna went to jail and everybody was calling him a snitch, he makes great music, but the second that the world called him a snitch, everybody started throwing his music away. I don't pay attention to stuff like that, because you lose the context of the music. I love music, so I separate the people from the music. You see what I'm saying? So I just don't pay attention to a lot of shit. So coming from the aspect of what Chocolate was talking about, like, it's, excuse my language, because I have to be a little vulgar to express my passion. You feel what I'm saying? It's fucked up for somebody like me, who's counted in the majority of men who do shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she was like, we need to sit down and have conversations with men. But do you know how hard it is to talk to men who think like that? You feel what I'm saying? Like, do you
bookmark you right there? Oh my gosh, you're so perfect right now. Let me bookmark it right there, and ask a question. When you made the comment about separating the person from the music, right? but say I'm a writer, right?
Right.
So what I write, I tend to put on to paper. You feel what I'm saying? Whether I'm typing on my computer, whether you feel what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I like
I,
to feel. So
right.
with that being said, it's not possible for me, honestly, to say, oh, when you listen to me spit a piece, it's completely separate than who I am as a person.
Nah, but see, that's what a spirit of we're talking about this whole Shannon Sharp situation. That's completely different from the music situation I was talking about. Rape and all that other shit, that's crazy. You should
Well,
not
take
do
Shannon
that as
Sharp out of the equation, darling, because
a
I'm not
so
even talking Shannon Sharp
okay,
because
so when it comes to things where you express the high frequency of love, or where that exists, because love is supposed to be unconditional. So the fact that you're a writer, I write poetry too. You feel what I'm saying? So when I write, when I speak it, that's really me, because I'm coming from an unconditional place. You feel what I'm saying? I'm coming from an unconditional place that only God exists from, because only God knows what I feel on the inside, truly. You feel what I'm saying? So bringing it back to the point that I'm trying to make, I know how much of a protector or a lover or a healer that I am, but if I run into two things. If I run into a beautiful woman who's been through so much, it's hard. It's going to be hard to tell her, hey, because I've dealt with women who I done reached out to try to touch them, just to rub on them and love on them, and they jump because they so traumatized, and that hurts me because I'm not that kind of person. You feel what I'm saying? So to be categorized in a majority of men who do shit like that, it hurts. It makes me angry because I'm not like that. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know near one of y'all women, but if we were in a place and some dude came in there on some bullshit, I'm trying to protect the women and the children. You feel what I'm saying? I come from a place of real gangsters, and that's how I operate. You don't put your hands on women. That's not something that you do. And like I said, I've dealt with women who've been through these things, and some of them can't even wrap their mind around that men like me exist. And then going further, like I said, trying to talk to niggas who do this beating up, raping shit, all that, that's hard. You will fuck around and end up fighting one of these niggas trying to convince them that that's not the way. Seriously. So why would I sit here and waste my time trying to convince you when I could continue to try to heal myself and be something great for somebody else?
Okay.
And then just be an example.
Okay, so bookmark there because it's going to segue into kind of where I'm going next, and I'm going to wrap everybody's point, and then we're going to go to the next clip. But I promise it's still going to go into everybody's point. So I like when Miss Chocolate had the conversation or made the statement earlier about, do men have conversations with men about the different things that they may hear, that they've experienced, that their sisters have experienced, their brothers come in and say da 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 da. And then, much to your point, Gifted Soul, because again, I don't want you to be too far out. Much to your point, you're not, this not the company that you keep. This is not the perspective that you have. So it's hard for you to kind of fathom
Let me add to what you're saying. I have these conversations with close friends of mine who are men too, because the men that's around me don't operate like that. You see what I'm saying? So the men that's out here doing all that type of stuff, I don't even be around those type of people. You feel what I'm saying? If I was in if you were to take me to a convention or take me to a room full of men who have charges for these things, yeah, I damn sure would talk to them. But in the free world, people have free will and they gonna do what they want to do. They don't want to listen. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man. Like, if I could change a lot of these niggas, I would, but they don't want to change. They want to exist and be the same, man.
All right,
You
so
are
pause
by
there, and then
talking to them. sorry, like because you are, and you even say like you can't a psychopath can't understand a psychopath. You know what I mean? But you're still like keep having these conversations, keep being the person you're being, because we need people like you, man. Like if I didn't have my brothers and I know that they're good men, I would believe all men are fucking cunts, yeah. And I would mean the word men when I say that. Yeah? But because like and it's so fucked up when you think about and it's sad to hear. It's a great conversation to hear your point of view, hearing the fact that as a man,
it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. Like I'm really being vulnerable with y'all. It hurts my heart. Like it really does hurt.
But we need more people to show up like that, because you're not like we're always out here telling that, and it's all, then we get accused of men hating. Like when I'm hating on men, no, I'm not hating on men. I hate on rapists. I hate on people that do fucked up shit. That's wrong. You know what I mean? I hate people that kill cats. Like, but then you're out here representing. It's like if I didn't see men representing as in my brothers, I would believe all men are cunts. But we're learning that that's not men. And like you're a man.
And then just to flip it a little bit, do you how bad I want to feel love from a real woman? Like for real, like do you know how bad I want to feel that energy from a woman who's at least trying to get past the things that she's been past? Like the flip it to the other side of what I want too, because love is a two-way street. It's not just one way. I want to feel something too. You feel what I'm saying? And it's hard when a lot of women are scarred and they're scared to go out there like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Let me pause you right there. Hold on. Let me pause you right there, please. Welcome to the panel, Conrad. It's good to see you live and in person, sir.
Salute everybody.
Did you have something that you wanted to add to this particular topic?
I was gonna let y'all cook for a little bit before I say anything, but if I'm understanding maybe where we're at, and y'all correct me immediately if I'm wrong. But if we're talking about men, and I heard my brother say something about the art of love and the expression of love, and how it comes from a man. And as he was talking, we mentioned Shannon Sharp. As my brother mentioned, salute Watts. As my brother mentioned about the art form and expressing and receiving love, and we talk about, and I'm just catching pieces right now about the separation of men who distort this aspect of love and the true art form and display of love because of how they choose to act or how they choose to. I guess go after that. They have to be separated.
Love under the umbrella or love under the concentration as it is distorted by sex. Does that make more sense? Okay.
Yeah, 100%. So it's just like even that, like we got to understand, and I don't want to say we got to understand because I don't want to sound like I know it all, but there's an aspect of love that has to be experienced without sex. I look at sex as it is an aspect of it's the overflow, right? So if I say I have unconditional love for chocolate or any one of the sisters, right now I'm saying I have love for them outside of the overflow, which is sex. Sex is the overflow. Sex is not the expression and can never be the expression of unconditional love. It is the overflow of the love that is bottled up. Now, do we choose to express that in different ways? Can as we say, make love to somebody? Can a man and woman make love together through the aspect of sex? 100%. But it's the overflow of the love that's already in there. Lest we take sex and replace the action for what should be the foundation. I yield.
I appreciate it.
Conrad, can I ask? Oh, sorry.
I'm going to let you cut in. And then since we have, welcome to the panel, 100 Watts. Always a pleasure. Thank you for letting us borrow your time. Since we have a couple of different people who have joined the panel, I want to get everybody's fresh perspective on the next clip, which again is a segue into this. So Dark Lake, you're going to land the plane, and then we're going to move to the next.
All right, especially to 100 Watts. Thank you for coming in, 100 Watts. How you doing, bro? Conrad, I understand what you were saying. Yeah, I think it's important. However, like you were saying, we need to have a way to have love without sex, right? That's what you were saying, right? Okay, I would agree with you if simultaneously there's also a way to express or feel love without the giving of resources, because we have to keep things fair. Men have a biological imperative to have sex. Women do too, but men, it's more of an imperative. So I'm not disagreeing with you, right? Because we want things to be organic and authentic, but we know that that's what men seek out. So what do women seek out? Validation and resources, just like men seek out sex. So if simultaneously we can have a fictional Pluto's universe where there's a space where I can go meet that woman and sex is off the table so we can see if it's really love. And she can come meet me, the man, and my resources and validation is off the table so we can see if it's really love. Then I would 100% agree with you. How do you feel about that?
Go ahead, Conrad. You can answer.
So, in my opinion, and by my opinion, I mean my anecdotal experience, there is a way for a man to experience love and a woman to experience love without the act of sex, and the woman experience love without the necessity of resources. Here is the hard truth for women, in my opinion, and a hard reminder for men. It would be incumbent upon any man at any given point in time to make sure that that boundary is set on if resources should even be up for discussion, just like it is incumbent upon any woman to make sure that the access to her body is valued and guarded. So if I value my resources as a man, I'm careful with who has access to it, even me, because there's some things I'll waste my own resources on. And likewise, there are some things and some people that our women will waste their body on. There are some people, there are some places, there are some things that they will waste their bodies on. So when we come into true alignment, first with ourselves to understand that this is my resource, my money is my resource, her body is her resource or is a resource, and we value it, then we can get to a place where we can say, I can experience love and I can give love without requiring you to have to give me something that is above value, that should be the ultimate consummatory factor.
I like that. That was very strong. And so
I totally get that.
Both tables there. And so, men, I'm going to let you guys have first go after this clip. 100 watts. We haven't heard from you yet, sir. So after this clip, I would love for you to be the first person to comment. Is that okay?
Perfect. Yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
Perfect. Fair use, guys.
At least I knew that shit was getting scary when I started to watch Black men comparing themselves to women. And I don't want to jump on the bandwagon of this sassy and zesty conversation because there's a lot of zest sitting over here. So I ain't got call it for what it is, a lot of zest and sass over here. But I would never try to put me in the same sentence as a woman. And I was scrolling through my phone the other day and I saw a man talking to a woman. He said, look at you and look at me. Do you think that you're worth me? Is what he said to her. Whoa. And I said, oh gosh, shit is getting scary. Where you think that you should be in competition with a woman. And I think what a lot of that has to do with, and why I bring up that jealousy part, is because women have made strides when technically they were supposed to be behind. We lived in a day in society where that woman wouldn't have been allowed to vote, but you would have been. Still, you sit your ass at home when it came time. We live in a society where we all could not get an education. Now we do. A black woman is highly more educated than a black man can ever be. We live in a society where men statistically are supposed to be making more money, including that black man, but she makes 10 times more than you. I think the dichotomy is you showed up not being man enough, and she's being every bit of the man that you were supposed to be. And now you can sit in front of baby girl face to face and say, what are you bringing to the table? When I thought niggas were supposed to build it.
Damn.
Or me at
You
least.
can pause there. 100 watch you. Baby, you have the floor first.
Actually, I kind of want to gather my thoughts. Any other dude can go. I'm gonna go.
Fam, I don't. It was a lot that he threw in there as a man. It was a lot that he threw in there for me to receive. So for one, his perspective is already completely different than mine.
Perfect. Start there.
In terms of he got a lot of sass. I don't carry that. So his perspective, we're already disconnected. I everything that he said, I'm disconnected from because how can I say it and make sense? Because I don't want to be long with it. I just want to make sure I'm making sense when I say what I'm saying. I feel like there was a whole lot of bro, like I can't understand that perspective. It's just why is it always that men always feel like they just inadequate whenever like why is it always about making men inadequate? It's always about y'all ain't good enough. Like why are we never good enough? Black men are never good enough. We're not good enough for the women that we're trying to date. We're not good enough for the snow bunnies that we keep on chasing. We're not good enough for the white men that we keep working our ass off for. We're just never good enough. And it always turns around to you niggas need to step it up. Like it always turns into that. And I can't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I didn't understand what he said, but that's just how I received it.
Okay, so quick first question to you then. I'll go out male, female, male, female. Do you feel like that was almost like hearing a female's opinion out of a man's body?
That's exactly what it was.
That's what it felt like to me.
Okay. So then I understand we're on the same page. You're that perfect. So then, Miss Chocolate, I'll ask you to go next. Keeping in mind, there's like 1,000 other people to go after you too, and I know you get passionate. And we'll get back to you too, because I can't wait to hear what you got to say about this one. So please.
Or you're muted.
You're on mute, Mama.
Why was I just sitting there, man? I'm not even gonna tell that because y'all will never let me live that down. Anyway, hey, again, I can be good. I love it. I love hearing from everyone. Hello. I'll say it with a smile. Again, if you can't have a conversation about who you are sexually, because that's what this comes down to. He's zesty. He's gay, right? Gay meaning his attraction to the same, right? That's what that means, correct? Same with women or however we want to look at it. And just like heterosexuals are attracted, I'm attracted to men, whatever it may be. Regardless of who is saying it. The sad part about it is the regular everyday women, we ain't out here saying that about men. None of that stuff. I didn't grow up in the man haters club. Okay. So that also is a different perspective in that regard. Because again, I'm not your average black person. Believe me, I've been questioned all my life. Because it has that depth of culture and what do you look like? Yes, I love the fact that we're having this conversation, and I'll land here. The dichotomy is this: if we cannot comfortably talk about sex and understand the boundaries of men, because we need y'all to talk. We done put it in books, movies. We done wrote y'all letters, the whole nine. We want you to do X, Y, and Z. However, where I'll land is this: you cannot ask for grace if you're not willing to give any. You can't ask me to understand you if you're not willing to talk to me. So if you're already telling me you're afraid to talk to me, and this was earlier said about men and men and women, um, how we have been raised in this society and how it has fucked up a lot of people. Excuse my language, I apologize. Um, with this role play that we all want to fit into to be the right relationship. No, you might be just you need to find the level of crazy that will be with you, but you got to be comfortable with yourself. And that goes back to what I was saying. I would love to have a real conversation about that. Like I would love to understand men's mind when it comes to sexual boundaries. Because again, I'm not gonna stop. I'm going to keep bringing it up because we're not. It's not about the money. It's not about any of that. There's a dynamic there, and we don't like to touch it. But I'm crazy, so I'm hitting the button. I land.
So
Thank
I
you.
have a question for you before you go
Yes,
on
of
mute,
course.
mamas. So my question to you is,
Mhm.
do you think that he had valid points? However, because of his sexual preference being against the majority or this panel, it automatically canceled him, even if he was making a valid point because of his sexual preference.
Oh no, it doesn't bother me at all.
No, I'm saying, do you think that his sexual preference turned the men off from
Oh, of
him
course.
basically, even if he made a valid point,
Yes.
do you think that the men automatically canceled out
Shut
his valid
down.
point just because he likes men?
Yes. I've seen it in
Okay,
action. So
thank
yes,
you.
ma'am. Mhm.
Thank you. Okay,
Oh,
so Dark Lake, you would be the next male I'd like to hear from.
okay, so I'm a person who's not going to do that. Just because a person has a particular sexual orientation, I'm not going to cancel out what they say. I've always been trying my best in these spaces to project consistency when it comes to logic all the time. However, when you hear black men say, well, that dude's zesty or that dude's gay or whatever, a lot of times it's an attack to emasculate, especially masculine men or men who other black men are intimidated by. They'll try to put the label of zesty or gay onto them. However, in this particular scenario, this guy, if a black man points out that he's zesty or he's gay in the video that you showed, it's not just illustrating or bringing into light his sexual orientation. It's a lot of other factors that come with that, right? Like every man on this panel could tell that he's only been talking to women. He's only been talking, and it's not just females. It's like the type of women or maybe black women that exist in this like sisterhood cult of, let's just have no accountability and talk about how shitty black men are, right? He's been around since a young boy, just basically regurgitating and pandering these ideals of how black men aren't good enough, right? My thing is this. This is not every woman and this is not every black woman, right? But pertaining to that video, I didn't see the likes, I didn't see the comments, but I can I can assume with a fair estimate that it went viral and it has a lot of whole bunch of black women commenting. This is a aspect of our community that we have to recognize. We can't have a whole bunch of black women big upping men like that or people like that in general who just basically want to defecate on the image of black men to uplift black women over black men and then are so surprised why Shannon Sharp acting like Godzilla looking up to the white woman. Well, maybe because that white woman said thank you black daddy. Maybe that's why. You feel what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that
That's
you
all it
can't have
takes.
this. You can't have this. It
Y'all
shouldn't be all it
easy.
takes. It shouldn't be all it takes. However, what I'm saying is that we can't have this combative belittling, insulting demographic in our community that's basically defecating on the black male image, and then so surprised when some black men want to go for something different because they've experienced all of that defecation. That's all I got to say.
Please, I have one question. Please, just one. What do you want women to take accountability for? Y'all, that word is said so many times, and I have no idea what you're talking about. Accountability for what?
After after we address this gentleman in the
No,
video,
please. I just want
will
to make sure.
we?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on just one second,
Yeah, we.
because I don't want to lose space. So if Dark Lake is done, then I need Just Star, and after Just Star, Conrad, you can tie that up, and then if you guys want to spike out from there, rock out.
And I'll just answer it really quick, and then I'll
Okay.
let everybody else go. Chocolate. When I say accountability, it's not something in general. It's more specific pertaining to the situation. Like specific pertaining to the video that was shown when that man said, um, they're saying, well, what do you bring to the table? Like that was a big issue. And then the black woman at the very end, she nods her head like he's so right, like he was preaching, right? Accountability is not taking into consideration a reason why a man would ask that question. That's accountability. Instead of just nodding your head and laughing and saying, mm-hmm, thank you, you preaching because basically taking a shit on black men. That's accountability. Let's talk about maybe, I don't know, certain percentage of black men are not going to universities because they can see the student loan debt that they're going to inquire in about 6 years. So they rather go into trade schools and do other stuff to not incur such student loan debt. But that's not taken into consideration. The only thing that's taken into consideration is black men aren't going to college. Hooray, black women.
But who
That's
is
what I mean by
saying this?
that's what I mean by accountability.
But
Okay,
who is?
hold on, because
I apologize. Yes,
No,
excuse
no, no,
me.
you're fine. We're gonna branch off. Just bookmark and don't forget. Just Star.
Yo, I'm actually writing fucking notes because I'm trying to remember and keep up this conversation, man. Because I'm trying to bite my lips so many times because I'm trying to let everyone talk and like blah blah blah. But like, I agree as well. Some of the things that Chocolate's saying is because it's like it's funny how men like love to tell us women how we think, but then as soon as you've got a man there that happens to be gay, like telling you what he thinks about being a man, being around men, and it's like you said, oh, he's only ever around women. He fucks men. I think he's gonna be around men. Like, so then he might know what men think too. He might have a better idea than you realize. And in this world, then it's like so. You can like literally the whole point of even what he was saying, it's like men are so okay to tell us women what we think and how we feel, but yet then as soon as because he's gay and our culture's like, oh, brainwashed to believe that's unacceptable, you won't listen to him. And it's like, right, man's probably got more knowledge than you realize because actually around men, you literally even said, oh, he's always around women. No, he probably doesn't want to be around women as much as you think because you perceive it like that, and it's so ignorant in that thinking. And it's like, as well, the whole what someone said before about resources, women, like we use our body as a resource. I'm sorry, like I'm not a little bitch. I'm a woman out here. Like I don't need to fucking sell my body to make money. Like I'm actually talented, creative, and fucking lucky and worthy. And it's like, when do you ever hear men described in the same way that you constantly? It's like men are so like literally the amount of times I've heard it like oh well, she's a woman. She used her body. And we don't actually think like that. The women that you're around are not the right women, clearly, because real women don't think like that. We actually know our worth, and like even somebody said afterwards about women are making more money than them. It's like, right, yeah, imagine that women could make money without fucking selling their bodies. Like we're actually, not thinking on the same levels that you think that we think on. So stop telling us what we're thinking and thinking them levels because that's not what we're thinking. And then listen to other people. It's like, right, it's just mind blowing sometimes. Like, sorry, man, like it's just like. We literally all heard that differently. It's like, even the women on here, I feel like, and I can't speak for everyone, obviously, and I only speak for myself because I only know myself. Like, literally, I heard a man just trying to get his opinion out, and then like every man like just didn't hear nothing because it was a gay man speaking, and we're not going to listen to him because he doesn't know what he's talking about because he's gay. Because we're brainwashed to believe that in our culture, and the whole reason why we're opening these conversations is because we're not doing that shit no more. So it's like, and considering as well the things that go against our cultures and stuff, yeah. And even though, yeah, like look at you, some people you think I'm white, yeah, I'm mixed race, I'm Guyanese, yeah. So I know what I want, yeah. Like we're so fucking discriminated against and like rare, but then you're gonna discriminate and everybody else again the same way. Like what we doing? So yeah, I'll get
appreciate that. And then who was supposed to go over you? Was it Conrad?
Nah, it was me.
So
it was Gifted.
Yeah, it was me.
Okay. I don't remember which order I said. So is that
Nah,
fine?
you fine. Yeah, you
all right.
good.
Well, then you go, and then Conrad, if you don't mind, please take after Gifted, and then we need to spin the block back to Miss Chocolate. So go ahead, Gifted.
Um, so I express myself as a man. So y'all probably hear me say this in different sets when we talk, but don't ever get it twisted with me. I I'm trying to get past the fact of women. Like I love women so much that I feel like sometimes it's an issue. So I don't want that to get it twisted when I say what I'm about to say. I love women with all my heart and soul, bro. It's nothing better than a woman. You feel what I'm saying? But it's some real niggas out here that is gay, bro. You feel what I'm saying? It's some real ones out here. You feel what I'm saying? And what taught me that was band. When I was in band, my band director told us that we are a family. Y'all know how bands move. We a family. So it was some gay dudes in the band, but we couldn't look at them no different than how we look at ourselves because he drilled it in our head that no matter what our preferences and choices is, we are family. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I ended up having conversations with these dudes, and I found out that these dudes is just regular people. You feel what I'm saying? They just regular ass people. You feel what I'm saying? They still human beings too at the end of the day. I don't agree with your preferences and choices. Don't swing my way with that, but whatever your choices is, that's cool. You feel what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you find more peace in this life than what some people do. You feel what I'm saying? Now, if you a straight man, and it's about how you express yourself because I don't see nothing wrong with a man asking a woman like, shit, baby girl, what you got to offer me? You feel what I'm saying? What you bring to the table? You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's not gay. That's not zesty. I'm trying to make sure I don't invest my time, my money, my patience into something that's not going to help me grow. You feel what I'm saying? And it ain't nothing wrong with that. You feel what I'm saying? Now, if the nigga coming off the bat, I mean, what you gonna do for me? Then yeah, we got a problem over here. You need to question him. You feel what I'm saying? But if it's a real man just being like, baby girl, I mean, you're gorgeous. I enjoy your time and company, but what can you do for me? You feel what I'm saying? You see what I can do for you. I could take you here. I can invest in you. Whatever your dreams is, I can invest in that. But what can you do for me besides have sex with me? Can you feed my mind? Can you feed my soul? You feel what I'm saying? Because if I want sex, I could go out here and get that from anybody. If I just want sex, you feel what I'm saying? But when you really trying to build intimacy and a connection, that comes with because I think it was Conrad that said it. It's a different type of love when you can love somebody without having sex. That's a whole different ball game. And that's a problem with society because society feels like if you're not having sex, then somebody don't love you and I'm gonna go get it from somebody else. That's wrong. That's not what our grandparents did. You think our grandparents was bumping and grinding every single fucking day? No, they wasn't. They wasn't. You feel what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, Willie couldn't go out the
Them
house.
people had 37 kids. They was humping, dry rubbing, something, chill.
Yeah, they was. But the point that the point that I'm making is the connection that they had, even in moments that they wasn't doing it, they wasn't stepping outside the ring. That's the point that I'm making. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's the point that I'm making. Because it's be serious, like be 100% serious. If you in a relationship, are you really gonna have sex every night all the time? Don't sometimes you just want to just relax and just lay next to that person and just enjoy their energy? You
As
feel
a
what I'm saying?
female, as a female, although I'm 46, so who knows? But as a female, I
And
think
don't get it.
that
Sex
depends
is
on the person because me,
yeah,
yeah, unless
I'm
I'm on a week of no-nos or like my auntie then pulled
like
up and so I cannot, yeah, I'm gonna need that stretched out.
it's don't get it twisted. Like sex is very important. Like
I
it's not like
agree.
don't get it twisted. It's important, but at the end of the day, I don't know, bro. Like I said, it's just something else I'm after. You feel what I'm
No, I
saying? To
feel
go
you
Yeah,
because
I
beyond
here's the
feel
sex.
you.
thing.
I
Here's
feel
the
what
So,
you're
thing.
saying.
Can I just interject
my
this really quick?
in my personal opinion, I'm honestly gonna feel like nobody in here is really just gonna 100% feel me because I'm looking for something that go further than sex,
But
bro. You
listen
feel
to
what
what
I'm
I'm saying. Let
saying?
me
I,
So
interject this
I
May
really
I?
quick.
that's
Hold
that's
May
on,
I?
that's
pause,
that's honestly that's
pause.
why I sit in silence the whole time and don't say nothing because I already know my views is probably a little
Gifted,
far
but
off or
hold on just
different.
a moment, darling. Hold on just a moment. Hold on just a moment, because you're not an alien in this nation. I promise you. So I was going to say, for me, the reason why I made the comment that I made is because I am a person who pays attention to body language in a relationship. It is something does for me laying with my significant other and my partner, because I'm not a person who likes casual sex. If I'm single, then I guess I'm just single until I get into a thing. And so that's my preference currently. You feel me? So for me, I like to know that the person that I'm laying with has a certain type of feel or connection or whatever. I love the unspoken that happens with body language. I love some of the things that you now feel vulnerable to express in the under the tent of intimacy. And I think that some things, that's why I tell people all the time, going to go and try to break your girl up from her man is more hard than you think. Because in your mind, you've had enough of her man, and how he treated her. But what you're not there for is when the two of them get into the bedroom and he starts scribbling with his pen against her paperwork. That's a conversation that I don't care how many times he punch her in her mouth. You keep going over there until that baby done had enough. She gonna keep going over there. So I get all of that. I'm not saying that you're thrown off. So I appreciate your opinion. Now let me mark you so I can hear from Conrad really quick, and then Miss Chocolate. Conrad, please.
And after chocolate, can
Thank
I
you
go
for your
to talk
patience.
to Gifted real quick? If that's cool. After chocolate.
I'm sorry. Can you what?
After chocolate goes, can I speak with Gifted real quick?
Absolutely. After chocolate,
Okay.
you're on. Go ahead, Mr. Conrad.
So this gentleman that spoke in this video, um, great word salad, and great pandering. Doesn't mean that what he said wasn't factual or valid, but we have to understand, just like we would say at the local church when the pastor is selling you a dream, we must understand when people get on these other shows and that they are pandering. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's taking hot topics and being able to use it, a little bit of truth, a lot of truth, but a whole lot of salesmanship. Now, as it relates to the what do you bring to the table talk before we get to any aspect of sexual interaction, what does it matter what she brings to the table? Because she could be the best politician in the world and answer me and give me a great answer and make me feel very secure. So what does it matter if I answer that question? I am of the mindset that I believe that a man should operate in such a fashion and a form where his existence and how he carries out his life will be the filter and the wall for how we find out what exactly she brings to the table. If she brings only sexual interaction because that's what she's really going to be good at, my life existence standards and morals will expose that. Likewise, hers should do the same thing for the man. Here is the unfortunate part when we flip the script. She has to ask a man, what do you bring to the table? Or let's reframe this question. Where are you at mentally, physically, emotionally, financially? Are you a whole person or are you in work? If we can just answer that question truthfully and say, you know what, baby girl, I'm in work right now. I might be able to blow your back out like nobody else, but I'm in work right now. The parts of me that matter. And I can say that. Why? Because as a married man, and I'll put it like this, right? If we look at the divorce rates, what doesn't work for women when they are fed up with other stressors? Sex doesn't work. The action of sex doesn't work. Likewise, when men have mentally checked out, guess what doesn't work? Sex doesn't work. Oral, whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, cowgirl, reverse girl, it doesn't work. So we actually, in my opinion, or my suggestion, we need to come back to frame and say, what do we really want? Do I want to build with chocolate? Do I want to, when I say she's a queen, when I say she's my queen, do I want to, do I have a style in a way that I'm going to present her in front of everybody else that's going to make it? Or is it, yeah, she got that good, so I had to lock her down?
And
Well,
that don't
if
relate to
if
sex.
that's the case, we've been doing that and failing at it for generations, both male and female. So
Right, that don't relate.
why we're stuck on sex? I don't know
I
why.
don't know. And
This
that's
other
my whole
gentleman, this other guy
that's
in
my
the
May I?
video, this other guy in the video, he doesn't, in my opinion, it has nothing to do with whether he's straight or gay. It's when we men know that you're just pandering because you're on a woman's platform geared towards women by women, and they like not all women, but that audience likes those talking points. And so it doesn't make any sense. Imagine if I went up there saying what I'm saying now. They'd be like, okay, that's nice, but that's kind of weird. You're going to be a man and you're just going to be a man all day, and you don't require any, you're not worried about knocking boots. That is outside of the scope of their mind. When men can get to a place where we start eliminating the dumb talking points and the dumb conversations because they're beneath the women to consistently be in this carousel of talking about sex, and it's beneath the men to keep talking about, oh, whose sex is going to be better, and who's doing this. That's redundant. That's not going to build your house. That's not going to keep your plate warm. That's not going to do the things that make us desire to be with each other, as Gifted Soul was talking about. I just wanted to say very quickly as I land here, I wasn't talking about prostitution and us selling ourselves or selling our bodies, or a man giving away his resource as to trick. What I'm saying is we mismanage the beauty of God's creation as us. That includes our sexuality, our ability to be intimate, our ability to love, our ability. We mismanage it. Because we mismanage it, we put ourselves in a position where we are using our agency in the wrong context. And as we are all humans, we're going to make mistakes. But I do believe that after you've made one mistake more than once, you should get to a place with yourself that you no longer want to make that same mistake. And this is why I believe it behooves men to recorrect this whole aspect of not using our agency mentally, emotionally, financially, or sexually in the wrong context to be able to right the ship. And what a woman brings to the table, if she has something to bring to the table, cool. We'll see how that materializes.
I appreciate that perspective and thank you. Thank you for all of that. And I appreciate you having that perspective from a married man, and from a perspective of a man who sounds like he has some type of uh, traditional, for lack of a better term, structure or ideology on male women role together, headship, leadership, and all of that. So thank you. I appreciate that. And then who was supposed to go? It's you, Dark Lake, yes? Or was it Miss Chocolate first?
It was Chocolate.
Okay, Miss Chocolate, you first, please.
I'm just playing. I ain't gonna say long because I got kicked off and then Roscoe kicked me off. So I apologize. He
Wait,
wanted
who?
my attention. Roscoe, my dog.
Oh, wait, okay, go ahead.
He got I want to just say this. When I'll say everything you guys said was wonderful, and I think it's fantastic. However, we have a problem, Houston, and it's on fire, and it's just burning and smoldering, and we keep looking at it and going, "Oh yeah, yeah, it'll work itself out." We are unable to just communicate with each other on a normalcy, what we've deemed normal. I will not. Nothing I'm saying is that any of the men on this panel. The one thing I love about the 40 plus years I've been on this earth, I have had the opportunity to travel and meet all types of people, all types of men, women, people, kids, pets, And then, people ask, well, why don't you have your own? I support family. I think that's fantastic. However, when we step outside of our circles, I'm not talking about people I know personally or not. I don't need to know them personally to know that the actions that they're doing is just horrifying. And that these conversations are fantastic, but the truth is it's still glazed over. It's still not the conversation of why does this happen so much? Why is there a problem with saying no? Do we need to reset? Let's have the conversation. What are your boundaries? We don't have representation. We never have in our community about intimacy. If your family members or someone at school or somebody or you took the time to learn or try to understand that for yourself, no, it's not there. We don't talk about black love, mixed love, cultural love, cross the street love. I could give it. What we focus in on is, well, sex is not, yes, sex is important and it has health benefits as well, whether you're with someone or singular. Okay. The reason I say that is because when I first went to school, I wanted to study psychology, but I wanted to I wanted to be, I can't remember how they say it now, but I wanted to be a sex therapist, period, point blank. Because even then, I realized that our community has issues when it comes to sex and love and equating intimacy. And then this twist of I still got to keep my guard up, or I need to submit to you so much it hurts. We don't have outlets to talk about that in the sense of, hey, black woman, hey, culturally black woman, hey, mixed woman, hey, whoever. I could care less. If this is your life and who you are, I could care less. We come in all different flavors. And what I'm not disagreeing, I'm not agreeing with anyone. But I do think the part that is glazed over is the fact that why is there an issue with sexual boundaries? That's what this was about. It was about him crossing a line that she had said. And as she said in the text message, I don't care our history. No means no. Now, I know that the men up here, I'm not asking y'all to put your heads into these men because you're not them. So I can see that your perspective, of course, is going to be different, just like it'll be different for me, but just to be a little to just to share the objectivity I do carry is the fact that no matter the package, we still come down to the same issue of not being able to talk about all of that. Even with the reactions that you gave this man, regardless of zestiness, there's a bias in there. That's why it's shut down. It's like when a manosphere dude try to argue with me, I just glaze out because I'm not gonna argue with you. Because what you're saying, I don't care about.
But you argued with me
Like,
before. What you just talking about?
oh yeah, I've done it. Yeah, you've gotten it too. Anyway, I'm fair. There you go. That's fair. But anyway, I land here. I think that we have an issue with intimacy and love and vulnerability. I think that there's no representation of that. We don't talk about, we don't have it on shows, we don't have it on TV, we don't even have it written sci-fi shit. Give me a love story, something. No, we have nothing. But these tidbits of other people's lives that could give two shits what we think about them.
I
They
have a
making
quick
money.
question
But
in that.
yes, thank you. Yes,
Why do
ma'am.
you think? No, no. I have a question. I mean, the question legit. Like, to your point, we don't see the Samuel Jacksons or the Jacksons who have been married for decades. You don't hear about Viola Davis and her husband. You don't get to hear about Denzel Washington and his wife. It's almost like it's downplayed. And I think I had this conversation not too many days ago. You didn't really hear about Will and Jada when you thought they were happy. It wasn't until there was controversy and all types of scandal and things in that nature
of
that
course.
we
like
go
that.
and look at their relationship. When it was Whitney and Bobby, and we thought that Whitney was a good girl, we wasn't interested in Whitney and Bobby until it was Good Girl Gone Wild. You know what I mean? And so it's like we didn't even salute, pay attention to, and or applaud Black love and relationship until it became chaos, even with Real Housewives and that franchise that is out. How many of these women are actually wives? Most of them are ex.
None.
And
Right? I mean, like,
running, they're running whatever their muck is, whatever their lane is. It's like you're projecting this, but you're also projecting it from a standpoint of a very broken, a very brutal, a very non-nurturing perspective. And just to clear it up and take it outside the box, but still keeping it in the box, it's not just us. It's not just us. It's just us right now because we get the least amount of play. You feel what I'm saying? Let's just say, and I ain't touching it too much, and I promise I love y'all, but let's just say that the rumor mill of a certain famous singer, we'll call her Zalante, and we'll call her husband AB. No, shout out to AB that's down there. We'll call them BC. And let's just say that their love, their relationship, their factors are authentic. But because they're so airtight, it's looked at as I must be a contract. They ain't really together like that. Now we trying to figure out how we can get up in here so that we can break these people up because it can't be that. And then let's go to the other extreme. We toss people to the curb like the Venus or Serena Williams, Eve, that dynamic because we say, oh, they slipped over to the other side and but it's unfortunate that those men, we don't have to hear about them calling us whores and whoremongers and nappy-headed hoochies and all this other stuff, not those particular type of men. And unfortunately, those women felt like they ran through our brothers and they couldn't find anything, so they had to go to be somewhere else or look outside the spectrum. So can we really blame? Can we say something about that?
We can.
I want to be very clear. You also can't, in that same regard, be mad if a Black man does the exact same thing and says, hey, I done been with every sister from another mister and it ain't never worked because all I done did was go to the hood and get hood rats. And so that's my only experience. And I think only white women or foreign women are my kind of women because all the other ones are ghetto. And I mean, it really gets into a lot of freaking nitpicking. All of that to say, we don't look at Black love the same way that we envy other people outside of Black love's relationships. And we seem to only want to tune in and then pay attention when it becomes a part of messy controversy or something that we can look at to further damage and poke at each other. So we definitely need to find a place and a space where there are more Conrads, salute to you, sir, where there are more gifted souls, salute to you, sir, where there are more Dark Lakes when he's not role playing. I'm just messing with you, but I mean, even for them.
Wait, role playing what? Role playing what? You gotta finish.
I don't remember something earlier about a girl wanted you to do something and you obliged in something. I don't know. That's y'all business.
No, I was using it as just an example. I'm saying, see, I was telling just wait, one second. I just wanted to clear this up, because it goes into what I want to say to you. In no way, form, or fashion was I trying to justify any form of abuse that a woman would undergo. That's not what I was doing. What I was trying to illustrate to you is how easy it is to put men, especially black men, under a predatory narrative. So it's pertaining to the relationship I have with this person who shoots me a text message as a man, as a black man, whatever, right? Please spank me. And then I go over there and then I spank her. 2 years later, something happens. Maybe I do something wrong. The relationship doesn't work, right? She's upset. She could just point to that text message where I say, yeah, I'm going to come over and spank you. Or say, yeah, he came over and spanked me. And it could be seen as a predatory move or abuse on my part. That's how easy it is to put men under that category. And that's why, and it's not that like I don't believe women, it's just that with all those nuances, especially when you have $50 million in the mix of this, I'm not so quick to give her the benefit of the doubt or to give any person the benefit of the doubt when there's so much money and all these nuances to consider. That's what I was trying to illustrate. If that makes sense.
Fair enough. And like, and I wasn't in, and obviously this is conversation. I appreciate the conversation. I love the fact that we need these conversations. It's great that we're speaking about these things, and so as well, like sorry, I should stop touching it. Like I take everything that I say a pinch of salt because the way I'm talking as well. But because it's a lot of the things that come across a lot of the time from people in general. And it's like like it's almost insinuated that women like are literally using their bodies to have these situations happen to them so that they can gain from it. Because and it's like even the sentence even to myself is fucking sounds disgusting because it's like having them things happen to you, yeah, like it's not like something that anyone wants to happen to them, yeah, and then to be are you gaining from what happened to you? Rah, do you know what happened to me? Do you know what I mean? It's like literally crazy, like that people think, oh, like I don't know, basically it's just not acceptable to keep like expect or assuming that women will they be okay now because they obviously understood, or she knew him for 2 years. And what you're saying is like you're almost trying to justify it, and like that's my whole point too. That's the whole thing, like doesn't. So what she wanted spanking in, fine, spank it in. If she decided she didn't want spanking 2 minutes later, then don't spank her no more. And it's like and I'm not saying about this whole case in general because I don't know. I live under a rock. I don't know who these people are yet. Like so, I'm saying like I really don't know. But just the whole conversation in general, like it's like you men are saying, oh well,
yeah,
she was
in general, yes.
So now you can rape her. No.
That's not the point that I'm making. I'm not making that point
because it's the way, and I don't think maybe you realize the way you're coming across because it's almost like you're trying to like justify her like, and I don't even know, like I said, I really don't know why I'm going with the ins and outs shit, but like you're literally trying to justify something happening to a woman because she wanted something bad to happen to her one time when she was like talking sexually because we have sex.
See, that's no, just start. No. Just start. That's where I have to just, and I'll let Conrad go. I'm sorry, Conrad. Just 1 second. Just start. That's where the miscommunication is. Not justifying any of that, right? What I'm saying is, if there is an initial understanding of what we're doing via text message, whatever, and then we meet up and we do it, that's not abuse. But if later on you say, you know what, I don't want that to happen again, and then I do it, that's abuse. That's great. That's all the things. I agree with that. The problem that I have, is before we get to that point of looking at the evidence, of seeing like, okay, did she say no and did he do it anyway? Right before we even get to that point, the dude is already a predator. The dude is already a rapist. The dude is already wrong.
I apologize.
He's already the big black dude.
But then as well, but that's your perception because when it is on the other side, you know how hard it is to report a case and to actually have something happen, and you know how many people don't report it because we never believed. We always assumed, well, you asked him to spank you 2 years ago, so now obviously you wanted him to do that to you. No, like, or you was walking and you looked too fucking sexual in the dark. So what did you expect to happen to you? Like, as well, it's like you're not understanding the insinuations of what you're saying, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're intending to say what you're saying, but like the sentences sometimes, like you don't realize the power behind them because as women we're constantly told how to not get raped, and I just wish they'd tell rapists not to rape. Because men don't, and it's just that's not a thing about men, and that's the whole point too. And before that conversation came up, that was one of the things I couldn't remember that I was trying to say. Because like, it's getting late, so late, it's early here, yeah. But like, literally, like, I'm not talking about men. And luckily, I got two brothers that are good men yet, because otherwise, I wouldn't believe that men exist in this world yet. And like that's why as well that you guys are having these conversations.
Two?
Men. No, but that's my whole point. Because otherwise, because you like catastrophize the world in the world. Every man, like, because I've been abused as a baby and I've been raped as an adult, so men have just fucked me over, literally. You know what I mean? And then you're telling me, oh well, that's what you wanted, that's what your body's for, the resource your body is. And it's like, no, like no, and I'm not saying you're saying that, but like them sentences, and then not understanding how hard it is to report these things, and how like then all of the things that go on in the world, that in the public media and stuff, that then people are like judging, so desensitized to the reality of Wagwan and how it affects people. Like it's actually like disgusting. But yeah, anyway, like I appreciate what you're saying.
And let Conrad
can I say,
and then give me a moment, Gifted Soul.
Can I say something,
Yes,
Mr. Conrad, real quick before you go?
Hold on, darling. There's actually something I want you to kick off, Gifted Soul. So give me just a moment, because I'm going to give you the floor and ask you to start something. So can you bear with me just a moment?
Okay. Yeah. That's fine.
So just say a comment in the thing like,
go ahead, Conrad.
What's Folgers mean? Sorry, someone just commented. I don't know what it means.
So.
Oh, Folgers like coffee because you talk fast.
So, Just Star. My position and my earlier comments are actually furthered by what you just said. And I'll go on record to say this. Shannon Sharpe should not be allowed in the community. I don't care what his skin color is, because his mind and his soul don't align with the community, right? So when we're talking about how do we get men to understand, or how do we even have these conversations of no means no, Chocolate Earth, this is, and to all the ladies, this is where I believe no starts. It starts within the man. He can be educated in the home, he can be educated in the public arena, but it starts within the man. Here's the reason why. Because now, if Shannon Sharpe was to encounter me and he says, hey, brother, I'm Shannon Sharpe. Yeah, you're also a punk. Here's why you're a punk. You're a rich punk, but you're a punk. You pay for box. That's just number one. I can't unsee $25K per cheek. That is a cockroach move. Real men don't pay for box. I'm just going to put it out there. So when my sister said that it seems like I'm of a traditional stance, no, I'm of a stance of I've been on a 40-year journey. The only man I had to kind of raise me was my grandfather. He passed. His dying words to me were, every day you got to wake up and you got to try. He didn't leave me a manuscript. He didn't leave me anything other than to say, you as a man must get up and try. You know what that means? Is I don't get to make excuses even for the areas where I may fall short. Straight goods and food. So we as men are literally going to have to pick up the mop and clean some of this filth out of our community, or else we're going to be forever put in the same category. There is no grace. See, the great thing about being a man is I don't have to give grace to other men. I get to give you a foundation and a set of rules. And we as men need to abide by them. If we're supposed to protect the community and we're supposed to build the community, it means we set the morals, we set the standards, we set the rules, we set the judgment. And this has nothing to do it's not against women. It is what it is. People like R. Kelly, people like P. Diddy, people like behind the scenes Jay-Z, and everybody that runs with them, man, woman, boy, or girl, they're not allowed in the community. You want to talk about stepping down from ESPN? I'm actually pissed that something like this came out again in 2025, and it has to be under the guise of a black man. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, he's being targeted by the Illuminati. No. Let's cut the crap. This kind of crap is even arguable between men as to, well, she's an OnlyFans worker. She must have been in a position. They had a relationship. They were role playing. How basic do you have to be in your mind that you don't understand when a woman means no and it's on tape that you just cut the crap? That's a lack of awareness. That is a fundamental flaw in the frame of a man. And Shannon Sharp is not the type of man I would allow to indoctrinate my son, speak to any of my nephews, or even be allowed in my community. I do not give forgiveness for that. And the reason being is this is because black men have had to sit here, and yes, we've had to sit here and be aligned and be targeted because of the actions of a few that we don't have the access or the resources to do. But here's the problem. When these little punks end up coming out, when these punks like Shannon Sharp and P. Diddy and all these punks, they end up getting up, do we get on our soapbox and say, hey, you're out of the community. You don't get my money. You don't get my time. You don't get my endorsement. No, we don't. We sit here and then we want to try and say, well, she was an OnlyFans worker. If she was going to be an OnlyFans worker before Shannon Sharp, she's going to be an OnlyFans worker before after Shannon Sharp. That is not my prerogative. My prerogative is my community. Men and women like her, like Shannon Sharp, do not belong in our community. And that's where this needs to stop. There needs to be a severe consequence for these type of men who play these type of games and mess up our community and mess up our women and mess up our image. Because then when it comes to big business, guess what they get to do? Well, they mess with themselves. They run themselves down. They don't have a no for themselves. So why should we respect them? Why should we favor them? So I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not going to put Shannon Sharp on the woman, regardless of her, how she decides to handle her resource, which is her body, her mind, and her soul. She's going to have to answer for that. But Shannon Sharp put himself in a situation where he used himself in a bad way. And I don't care if it's $10 million. I don't care if it's $50 million. Hell, he's lucky I'm not a woman. I'd rinse him for the full 75 mil. Lucky it's not me. So we as men, we listen, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, Dark Lake. We can't protect every brother that goes out there. And I'm not talking about the ones that are wrongly accused. The sisters that are lawyers, the sisters that are doctors, the brothers that are lawyers, the brothers that are doctors, we need to have them in our community, in our favor to say, hey, what should I be paying attention for? What should I be looking at? And then you know what? That Chocolate Earth is talking about, guess what it looks like? Sister, you don't align with my life. I value you, but we is a no-go. I don't care what you can do for me sexually. I don't care what you can do for me financially. I don't care what you do not align with me, and you do not get to ask me a question that may get me to bend my morals. That's the thing. We black men, we bend our morals. As soon as we get some money, we bend our morals.
If you're gonna feed my soul, bro, you gotta feed my soul. I don't give a
I
fuck.
appreciate
So
that.
like I'll land my plane. Like we gotta like that's where we gotta step up. It's not about earning money and can we be a husband. It's about really building the community and protecting the community. I land my plane.
I appreciate that. Oh my God, you guys are rich tonight, and y'all are on fire. I appreciate everybody's contribution. I know that we get it done in the after party, so it's a lot of these points that I'm not trying to cut you off from saying it to each other. I just love the after party too. For those of you who are watching, baby, I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much. I cannot thank you guys enough for being here. Just Star Gang, you know I love you. I know it's O Dark 30. I know it's tomorrow where you're at. Dark Lake, I always appreciate your opinion and your time. Miss Chocolate, you know I'm a fan and I love you for real. And I can't wait to get to you, so I'm gonna skip over. And then Conrad, wow. I've been watching you. I think we've been just started kind of being friends with each other on social media. So I've been kind of taking a notice to who you are as a structure, because I'm personal on Facebook, so I'm not everybody's friend over there. So out of respect for who I see that you present yourself as, I thank you for coming. I thank you for being unapologetic about having what sometimes seems as unpopular opinion, but being bold enough to give that one way, shape, or form or another. And that's where I'm leading myself over here to gift it. la poet. I'm not even going to ask you to do a poem. But what I am going to ask each and every one of you, and you can keep it within about a 3 or 4 minutes, would be amazing. But for Gifted to kick it off, because what I don't want to do is dissipate or everybody go their separate ways, and we're not giving each other those wisdom nuggets. And so, Gifted, I'm going to start with you. What positive um, wisdom nugget or affirmation would you give to your fellow women? After you, Miss Chocolate, but opposite to the men. Uh, Dark Lake to the women, Just Star to the men, Conrad to the women. I'll finish it up. Mr. Best, I would love for you, Charlie's Angel, to come up here and give yours on women, and I'll finish it up. Everybody good? We know where we at? Gifted. You just look like a little puppy I want to take home. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. As long as I'm saying just going, yes.
All right, so you started off, sir. You on.
Um, I guess love yourself, man. Take the time to love yourself and realize that you don't have to sell yourself short for $1 because that's not what love is. Understand that you can go, if you wanted to, you can go get sex from anywhere, but everybody ain't gonna take the time to feed your mind, body, and soul, and vice versa. Take the time to love yourself and know yourself. So when it comes to you talking to a man, you know what you will accept and what you won't. You know what he brings to the table too. You feel what I'm saying? In order to feed you and build you up so you can do the same for him. Because it's a reciprocal thing. It's an infinity symbol. Take the time to love yourself, man. Like take the time to love yourself first. Heal from all that trauma that you feel. Feel what I'm saying? Men too. Heal from all that trauma so you know how to deal and approach with women, man. Like for real. And I'm the youngest, I know I'm the youngest person in here. I'm 30 years old. I'm telling you something real. Even people older than me, heal first before you try to really look for love, man. Because at the end of the day, hurt people. And the more you don't heal from shit and you try to go out here and love people, you gonna keep scarring people. And you ain't gonna do nothing but keep the revolving door going. You scar them, that's more trauma that they gotta heal from, man. So take the time to heal yourself first. Then try to love somebody. Even put yourself on a healing journey so you know what you're looking for. Then go out there first. Be honest with yourself, man.
That's
That's
real.
that's it. That's it. Like that's it. Gotta
Miss
be real.
Chocolate.
Okay. Interesting. Again, I'll say until we become comfortable even with the discussion of it, I think
Wait,
we
you can
still have a
only
hard
give
time.
positive. You can only give a
Oh,
positive
that's
wisdom
right.
nugget.
Sorry,
Yeah, positive
girl.
wisdom nugget or
Go
affirmation
back.
for the
What was
men.
the no, yes, go back, asking. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Because
Miss
I'm somewhere
Chocolate.
else. I'm down the street. Thank you. The positive. I was trying to hold on and be good the whole way. See, I didn't even interrupt nobody. I tried it. So at the end, I can't give it to you. I'm sorry. Well, I think it's positive that we get together and talk. Um, I think it shows exactly what people up. Some folks is funny to me that we can't talk to women, but you up here talking to us almost every week. Why can't we translate that outside? Because there's no representation. That's the positive part. The positive part is that it's here. Just need more of it. That's all.
I love you. Thank you. Dark Lake.
And this is just to be clear, this is an outro and a positive affirmation for women that
This
I'm
is
giving.
a positive affirmation or wisdom nugget to the opposite sex only.
Okay. I want to say thank you everyone for showing up on this show. Thank you, Malysa. Thank you, Mr. Best in the World, Just Star, Chocolate, Gifted Soul, Conrad. Um, I enjoyed the conversation. It's actually extremely interesting. I got to end on a positive note because I'm usually like really going at it. So I'm really going to try my best. Okay, here we go.
You
I
can
think
save the
that
rest of it for the after party.
no. I
Be.
believe in I believe in positivity. I want all the women to watch this show, um, and listen to what Gifted Soul had to say. Really, everybody, Conrad, Chocolate, everybody, but really listen to some of the clips that Gifted Soul had to say about what kind of man he is and what he was looking for in a relationship. Something that goes beyond all of the semantics of sex and resources. That he's a person that wants more than that. I'm a person who's known as Dark Lake Revived, and I used to illustrate to all of Black YouTube that men like Gifted Soul are like knights in a war that is almost impossible to fight because the majority don't recognize men like Gifted Soul. Um, so listen to what Gifted Soul had to say and recognize that in men, especially Black men, on your journey. And I'm 100% sure that you won't have any horror stories to tell about men or Black men in general. And men like him exist. They're out there. So let's all stop bitching and complaining, please. That's the best I could do.
All right, gang, gang.
It ain't us.
Gang, gang, positive affirmation or wisdom nugget to the men.
And all right, well, because as well, I give men their flowers all the time, and that's the whole thing. Like, and I really want to reiterate, and for everyone as well, when we have these conversations, forget that. Don't forget to mention that, or don't loosely use the word men, because we're not talking about men. We're talking about like scum. Like men don't do these things. We appreciate men. We love men. Like what I mean. But can I read a little quick piece, like related to what I want? Oh, there was two that I pulled up, but like, obviously, time is of the essence. But
Yes,
with the
ma'am.
words out here. All right, I'm gonna come with camera here. No, you can't touch my hair, stroking me like you pet your dog. I ain't your bitch. So why's your hand in my curls before you even finish the question? This ain't the circus. And yes, I am really this pale. Bless you for asking. God just start bless me this way too. I know. It's beautiful. Guyana is not Ghana. Otherwise, I probably would have just said that. And no, I'm definitely not adopted. Thank you for noticing our family is adorned with stunning shades that may look different to ignorant eyes, blind in reality. Now you think you know me. Got my pen and paper ready for the next lyric to drop. You're going to tell me what? Why do people ask questions when they don't really want to hear the answer? You clearly know all about my ancestors. Maybe I should just turn the spotlight, let you build my family tree. Now you're looking at me like I've got four heads. Maybe it's your poor eyes. Can't see the bigger picture of four eyes. Specsavers has a sale on the only advice I'd give someone that can't see 2020, staring at me like I'm stupid. If you can't beat them, join them. Luckily, fighting is out the window. I'm not cracking, giving in. No more shattered glass, and I can see right through you. I'm always ahead of you, like your nose. Stop trying to focus on it. Just let go. Plastic pieces stab you in the foot when you least expect it. Never made any gang. Can't quite match the bandanas. Never been white enough or black enough. Experienced both sides of the coin. Heard the worst thing said. When they don't see you, you hear it all. Just are grateful to the big man to allow me to be worthy enough to wear this skin and be honored to know we're all human.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. Go ahead, sis. That's
Hard.
it.
The whole piece before it's ready to eat, you know what I mean?
I loved it. That was
Ooh, excuse me.
that was
I smoked
perfect.
to that.
Yeah,
We're
Yeah,
all
right.
human
made
at the
that.
end. We're
Period.
all
I
human at the
loved it.
end.
Not you, Dark
Yeah.
Leg.
That's what's
Oh,
up.
I
I'm
liked
sorry. I
it.
said that outside.
Damn.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Melissa, listen. I failed. I know. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I completely failed the subject. So may I just quickly give an affirmation to the brothers? That's what I was
Yes,
supposed to do,
ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I can do this. Believe it or not.
I have faith in you.
You got to.
Thank you.
You
Thank
just said I wasn't human. Go ahead.
you. Listen, brothers. I think you guys are great. Too bad, like polygamy is against the law, and that you will be frowned upon if you have more than 2, 3 husbands. Like everybody needs someone, right? But I think men should have that option too. Like when women polygamy came out because wasn't enough people. Now it's too many people. So you're just like, okay, listen, how about I got enough love for all the men that love me back, but I take care of you though. I don't cheat. I don't lie. We all know what it is. We eat good. We live good. Like Caesar's Palace, just walking around in togas and shit.
So we get ready to start a series. Red,
Okay.
no pop the balloon. We're gonna get Miss Chocolate up here and all these
What?
people. We gonna get it. We're gonna get
What?
it.
Yeah, it is.
Me?
Why
No,
not?
yeah, switch up on my mute, man, because like I've got so many sound
No,
effects in
I'm
the background
just
when you're talking. Like, I
saying.
love, I love when Chocolate start talking. Like real power. Like go on, sis. Yeah.
We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna put them in little
I-
super
I'm
suits
gonna
and
be.
something.
I'm telling you, we need to have fun. Like y'all so wound up, I can't take it.
I love
Yo,
it.
you need to
Wound
come to one of
up.
my shows. You know what? I got podcast. Yo, we ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got
No,
time for
what
that.
I
Yo,
mean.
like
No, no,
horses
no,
back
no.
and
Hold on,
bronchitis.
hold on.
Let's
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about just having fun with one another, just enjoying each other's company. When the last time you sat down and played a game with somebody as an adult?
play with. That's why I'm trying to
Other
talk
than,
to you lot.
I
That's
mean
not play
that,
with
and
me. I'm
that's
trying
the
to play
thing.
Tetris
Like
with motherfuckers.
we are just a whole generation of people who were not allowed to don't have too much fun, and so it I think it has spilled over, and it is spilled over into our parents' generations down to this. This is why everything is so customized, and it's gonna
So
get
wait,
and it's gonna
so
get
wait,
This
what's
is the
more.
trauma legacy
so
thing. I
wait,
just like
wait,
really
pause, pause, pause. Cause wait, so what's the affirmation or the wisdom nugget? Because
Oh yeah,
Mr.
shit.
Soap
Sorry.
didn't go and neither did I
Where
yet.
did why don't y'all stop me? Just stop me mid sentence. Don't let me go. Okay, I'm fine with that. Sure. I got ADHD, yo. Like for real. Don't get me going.
I'm trying.
And
I'm
I'm
trying.
chilling. I'm chilling
Wait,
I'm
you mean so
trying.
much
like
sense?
And I don't care, and I forget. Look.
girl. I'm like, we'll talk about
It's okay,
everything.
and I
But
love
anyway,
you
back to
for
it.
it.
Brothers,
It's
listen, I
okay.
love y'all.
I
I
don't
love
care.
y'all. I want to
First of
see,
all,
but I do
I'm
want
in
to
a hurry to get
see.
to the after party so that
Let's
I can
go
talk
then.
bigger
Listen,
shit.
chocolate is positive. He like black people
Unscripted shit
too.
all at the same
Black
time.
men is
Everybody can
good.
talk.
Brush your teeth. How about that's a good affirmation. Brothers, keep your real
Yeah,
teeth.
okay.
That
Mr. Best.
yeah, there you go.
Wisdom nugget or affirmation for the women, please.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna keep it old school. Thank you. God bless you. Good night.
What's that have
Let's
to do with
go.
the women? Thank you. God bless you. Good
You
night.
missed a bit where you tell everyone how much you love me. Like I'm,
I love you, Just Star. I love you, Chocolate. I love you, Melissa. I love
No, no,
all the
no.
ladies.
Right, we're
I
gonna
love
end
y'all.
it.
All
That
right.
sound rushed.
So
Wait, gifted. Hey, gifted soul. Did you agree with what I was saying?
doesn't
Um,
matter. We're not right there.
Okay.
Doesn't even matter. You're gonna
Okay.
have to ask him after the fact because
Got you.
now you running him into my 15 minutes. So
Got you.
respectfully. So number one, I appreciate all of y'all because you don't even understand. Last week, it's oh my gosh, taking exclusive rights on live has been a challenge and exciting, but it's just been a challenge all the way. So salute to everybody who showed up on the panel. I appreciate you guys for being my holder uppers of these guns. You know what I'm saying? They shoot, but I still need somebody with their finger on the trigger. So I appreciate every trigger literally from across the pond from the UK all the way California and everywhere in between. I love you guys big and everybody who pulled up. Um, just to be a part of the audience. And it's super, super cool that like this audience is damn near doubled at the end while we all trying to go an after party, but it's all right. It's all right. But with that being said, yeah, definitely join the conversation. You know what I mean? You have people who are of dynamic and diverse backgrounds, people who have had none and people who have had a lot, people who are trying to find their way, people who think that they have already found their way, and people who are really looking for answers, guidance, mentorship, and that's all we're here for. Whatever your art, whatever your gift is, whatever your conversation, your opinion, somebody needs to hear it. And so that's what we're here for. On it every day, I'm a person, I've had a TV in my home for 3 years. And so a lot of things that I pull and I source from come from me, either experience with children. I'm a mom of 3 grown children. I'm a grandmother of 8 grandbabies. So I'm trapped in between a lot of spaces. I'm a widow. I'm a divorcee. It's a lot. I'm black, but black enough sometimes and still not black enough even to run to my black friends because I'm too yellow. I mean, I got topics for days and days and days. I can even tell you I've been kidnapped once and joined a church cult. Didn't even know it. So we got lots of stuff to talk about. So please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, follow the other people that are here because like, you know what I'm saying? I'm only going to be around amongst those people that I would trust to pour into your life. Even if it rubs you the wrong way, let it rub you, baby, because sometimes we need to exfoliate, okay? But that being said, I did write y'all a piece, so we're going to take it to this paper, and we all going to hear it for the first time. As far as the topics that were at bay, salute to the real men. Whether you heard something that you liked or you didn't like, these men still got up here and were passionate enough to sit with us as women and give their opinion and also lend their ear, not just their mouths, to the topic and to the conversation. So I salute you, kings, brothers. I salute all of it. I'm with the shits, but I ain't with the shits. So as long as it ain't the shits, I'm with it. And you are more than welcome to always come up here and express and be a part of that. All right. As far as Shannon them, as far as Mr. Sassafras and them, I think at the end of the day, we can all agree that we need to have more dialogue and more conversation. And even if the conversation is you just being bold enough to say, hey, look, shorty, I'm just trying to find you, fuck you, and forget you. But like we can go get some chicken wings or something. Then just let it be that. Shoot your shot, because I promise you it's somebody that'll be like, oh, good, because I'm just trying to get my nut and keep it pushing. Do you give head? In the conversation. You feel what I'm saying? On the flip side of that, females could come to you and say the same thing. And if that's y'all's exchange, then that's your exchange. But please, by all
wow. That, sir, was quite an entrance.
I cannot express this enough. Please, as a survivor of sexual assault and domestic violence, I appreciate what Conrad said when he said no starts on the inside. And that's not just for men, that's for women as well, because we can't say that women are predators also. And to try to skip that would be bias. So either way, what I wrote today is actually called No High Traffic Thigh Way. So it says, there's no easy pass or tolls, no coochie coupons or exchange of domestic or foreign cash, nor account or big enough amount to outbid the price tag of being priceless. Why is it wrong to take issue with being misused like some standard issue ride that you take to and fro? I'm opposed to being driven over old broken streets with potholes, hidden in night shadows. High traffic area, but lights dancing on a creepy bleaking light pole. Gone over the rainbow so long that you forget that there's really no place like home. Now, to my automobiles whose wheels squeal when you attempt to steer me around a filthy used car parking lot. But maybe you can catch a lizard somewhere at another truck stop. But now to the classic mechanics, those who chose to get suited, laced up, and booted, ready to go get dirty. No matter the size of the job, he's man enough to handle it. And I see you reading and writing my make model and writing, rewriting my whole manual, never blaming me for my complexity of evolving. You haul everything from my past to the junkyard, and then you stand guard. Big cross on that toe to carry me. I promise the way that you got me hitched, this ride with me is going to be endless on this Supermation high traffic highway. Exclusive rights. I love y'all so much. I'll see y'all next week.
The DJ.